everybody now.
Go. I'm already going.
Else?
I'm already going.
You want to unplug anything else? The computers, maybe?
This is Park Avenue SafeSight unplugged.
Okay,
That's it. After hours.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Dr. Chynn.
Hi, Liz. How's it going?
Good. So, thanks for coming to chat with me today. I just wanted to take a little bit of time so that we could talk about what's been going on in our practice, Park Avenue SafeSight. We've been getting a lot of attention lately, so I just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of explain a little bit more what's been going on here at the practice, and also, you know, in your personal life, and give the audience a better chance to get to know you.
Okay, great. So I get the proverbial friendly interviewer.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we start with what's making news right now, since that was what everybody's really interested in. The whole SafeSight brand, right?
Okay.
Like we've been doing the non-cutting glass OR, we've been doing the jewelry, we're going to be doing SafeSight tattoos. Like, what is SafeSight to you, and why is this our brand?
Okay, so SafeSight is a way that we can tell the customers that we're only doing the safest of everything. So laser vision correction used to be like LASIK, which I had done, but there's some complications, and we went to SafeSight to make it like the very safest possible procedure. That's why we're the only center in the entire United States that has a glass OR where people on the street can watch. So you might think that's funny, but it's only funny if we did LASIK, because then someone sees a complication like, oh. It's like the concept of open kitchen, you know, right? So let's say you go to a restaurant, a high-end restaurant, and they have an open kitchen. What would be your thoughts in that restaurant as a customer?
Well, it better be really, really clean kitchen.
Right, they're not hiding anything.
Right.
Okay, you know exactly how they're preparing it. So in a way, that shows you that they're on the next level of, let's say in that case, hygiene.
Right.
Okay, so in the SafeSight brand for the laser center, we have an all-glass OR open to the public. That means every procedure is watched live by the public. So
anybody can watch it on the sidewalk, in the OR, in the waiting room, anywhere.
Sometimes at seminars we live stream it. We give each patient a DVD copy. Sometimes they post it up on YouTube. We're not posting it up, okay? We just want to show the public that our procedure is 10 times safer than LASIK. There's no LASIK center that can do this, because when I was doing LASIK, I did about 5,000. You know, 1 in 1,000, you might have a flap complication or a cutting complication. It's not the surgeon's fault. It's inherently a little dangerous to cut the cornea. This is a non-cutting procedure, so we're trying to brand it to show the public, everybody out there who's interested in LASIK but scared, or let's say we're told they can't get LASIK, they could come here and they could get SafeSight.
Okay, but so as far as SafeSight, I get it. It's very catchy. It's easy to understand. It doesn't sound like LASIK.
Right. It's actually a form of LASEK. Okay, so it's LASEK, but we rebranded it because some people doing LASEK, they're really doing a PRK, which is an older procedure that hurts a lot. And when we said we're doing LASIK, sometimes it sounds like LASIK. So we kind of rebranded it SafeSight. It's not just a branding thing, though, because I've been working on getting it better for 10 years. So every year we incrementally change our technique. We keep refining it, keep getting better. So I would say the technique that we're doing now is like 10 times better than the technique we were doing 10 years ago.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. Okay, so then what about like these other offshoots of the brand, like the tattoo, for example? Like, what is that all about?
Okay, so I guess 2 or 3 years ago, we were the first center in New York to tattoo somebody's eye. And this is a driver for a high-end limo company.
Okay.
And he said that one of his clients was Ralph Lauren. And I said, oh, you mean the company? He's like, no, Mr. Ralph Lauren. He's like really high-end, okay? So he stopped by, and because we had the glass operating room, he was, I guess, on call for Mr. Ralph Lauren. He was watching a procedure, and he was blind in one eye since a child because he got a bottle in his eye, and it broke, and he lost the eye visually, okay? But it's still in his eye. The eye's still in his head, okay?
Can he still see out of it?
No, he's blind, okay? So it's a white, opaque eye, okay? But the problem is when he's driving his limo and someone talks to him, he looks in the rear view mirror, they see him. Now, if you're Mr. Ralph Lauren, you talk to your high-end limo driver, and you see he's got one white eye.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
I mean, it's kind of a miracle that he got the job.
Yeah, I mean, he must be a very good driver, okay? I mean, that's America. You only need 20/20 in one eye, okay? And he has a perfect driving record, okay? But you could imagine these calls like, hey, can I maybe have a different limo driver next time? Okay, so it wasn't doing his career any good. So he's double parked because we have the glass OR. He says, hey, I know I'm blind. I know they're doing something that really does look like laser vision correction, but because they're so high tech, let me come in and see if they could do something about this eye, okay? So he stopped by the front desk. He was talking to the receptionist, and the receptionist, I mean, she doesn't know. She's like, yeah, I think we can't do that much. That eye is blind. And I just happened to be walking by, I said, we can't fix it visually. We can fix it cosmetically, okay? So he was using like a cosmetic colored contact lens to fix it, but he was saying like he didn't want to put it in and out every day because he's blind, and then it was shifting in the eye, you know, like the lens might shift, you know, so then it would look not
weird, right?
Yeah, it was all over the place,
right,
okay?
Right.
So he was just leaving it out, okay? So he said, can you fix that? I said, yes, because I did a fellowship at Emory in Atlanta under these two like really famous ophthalmologists, one of whom, Doyle Stolting, taught me how to do a corneal tattoo for this reason. It's somebody who's blind and they have a white eye. You can tattoo an iris, like the colored part of your eye, and a pupil, which is the little black part, and to the public it looks like he has a working eye. So he was really interested in cosmesis, not functionality.
Okay, but all right, so for example, in that instance, that's the place where like the glass OR is really gonna like pay off, right? But there are some downsides to having the glass OR, right? Or like there's criticisms that are involved with being like so out there. Like I know, like for example, like on national television, wasn't Dr. Oz just talking about how laser vision correction is actually like truly unsafe and it's dangerous, risky procedure?
Yeah, I got a problem with the whole Dr. Oz segment because all he did was take a couple people with symptoms, okay, and there are over 10 million Americans who've gotten laser vision correction now. You're talking about like 20 million eyes, okay? So clearly you could do 20 million procedure, the most safe procedure in the world, and you're gonna have a couple complications. So those people are not blind, okay? They do see better than they did before their surgery. I remember one of them has really bad dry eyes, and one of them has some visual symptoms like, let's say, ghosting or double images, okay? But they don't understand, or Dr. Oz didn't do enough research.
Well, Dr. Oz, he had somebody on there who said that LASIK made people suicidal. Like somebody actually killed themselves because their dry eyes were like...
Yeah, okay, so that has to do with the number 10 million, okay? So if we took 10 million people of any kind, and we made them all wear a green shirt for a day, I guarantee you one of them's going to kill himself the next year. Did the green shirt cause him to kill himself? No,
Probably
it's
not,
just because the incidence of suicide is greater than 1 in 10 million. Okay,
Okay.
now Dr. Oz is not an idiot. He knows this.
So you think he's just willfully ignoring
Yes,
that?
he's willfully being a sensationalist. I went to Columbia Medical School, and when I went there 20 years ago, he was a cardiac surgeon, and he was well respected as a surgeon. Now he's just like the medical version of Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, he is.
Okay?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and less than Oprah, because Oprah, I think, is very ethical and doesn't sensationalize.
Yeah.
You know, so I really don't like the fact that he's kind of willfully ignoring that laser vision correction is the safest medical procedure in the world. It's not the safest eye procedure. You could take what you think is the safest procedure, like tonsillectomy,
Yeah.
appendectomy, liposuction. The chance of morbidity or mortality in those procedures, like a major complication, vastly higher than laser vision correction on a statistical basis. Every year in the United States, someone is dying from liposuction or dying from tonsillectomy. Very rarely, because you know, once you're in the millions, you get bleeding and stuff like that.
Right.
Nobody is dying from laser vision correction, and last year we did a million people, nobody blind. Okay, so, but LASIK is 10 times safer. SafeSight is 10 times safer than LASIK. I am sure I could take any of those patients in Dr. Oz, I can bring them in. The person with dry eyes, we do things like punctal plugs, restasis, cautery. There are many modalities we can use. The person who's got visual symptoms, we can cut a preview lens. It's the machine over here. Okay, so you can pull this back.
Sure.
So if you see that machine, we put the person in that machine. It's a diagnostic machine, okay? It maps out their corneal imperfections, and then instead of putting them in the laser, we put a little plastic disc in the laser, and the laser lasers the plastic disc as if it were their eyes, and then afterwards they hold it up. If they hold it up, they'll see how they would see after we do SafeSight on top of their LASIK, and I guarantee you it's going to be better. We've done this in hundreds of patients. Now how much better is it? It could be 10% better, it could be 90% better. Typically if it's more than 50% better, the patient's like, you know, it doesn't really involve my symptoms, but it's 75% better, let's go for it.
Right.
And then we do that and they're better. So what I really dislike about the Dr. Oz thing is twofold. Number one, he tries to pretend that LASIK is not safe when it's the safest medical procedure on a statistical basis. And number two, he makes it like these people have no hope, and then he's reaffirming their lack of hope. Rather than being a good doctor, doing more research and saying to these guys, hey, you know, there's another procedure that you could do. The diagnostic preview lens is
Right,
no
like
downside.
he didn't talk about LASIK
No
at
solutions.
all, right?
There's no solutions.
Yeah.
How does it make people better just saying, hey, you guys are screwed?
Exactly,
It's
right.
ridiculous.
So, okay, but so then you're kind of, I mean, this whole practice, it's kind of treading a fine line between like medically necessary and really beneficial to people on many levels, and totally cosmetic and actually deemed not medically
Okay,
necessary.
but even the cornea tattoo for this driver, okay, the guy's name is Bo,
Right.
it wasn't really cosmetic. We went into it thinking it was cosmetic.
Right.
I'm not telling you it's going to make him see better. He's blind.
Mm-hmm.
He came back a month later, and I said, okay, Bo, how's it going? He's like, it changed my life.
Yeah.
So when he said that, I was thinking like maybe more driving jobs,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Okay, like less complaints.
Yeah.
He said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. When I had it done, okay, I went home, and a week later, my daughter's 9. She says, Daddy, I want to tell you something. He's like, okay. And she's like, Daddy, I wanted to tell you, my friends were scared to come over to play because you looked like a monster. I didn't want to say anything to you, so either they don't come over to play, or I get in fights with them, and then you ask me why I'm fighting with my friends. It's very bad. But now you look like a regular daddy. They all come over. I'm telling you, we're like all crying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are functional benefits to this type of surgery that's not cosmetic.
So the tattoo, you just gave an example of it being, beneficial in many ways.
There are a lot of people out there in
Obviously,
New York
laser
who
vision
that could
correction.
help.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I guess that would only naturally bring us to the next branch of the SafeSight brand, which would be jewelry.
Yeah, like SafeSight Jewelry.
Yeah. So the SafeSight Jewelry, we did recently here, right? And a lot of people were very, very interested in it. The reception was a little unbalanced. I mean, people can look on the internet, they can see what everybody has to say. Some people thought it was amazing, it was cool. You've been getting calls for, inquiry for new patients to come in. There have also been people who said it's totally unnecessary, it's dangerous, they could blind this girl, what if she needs an MRI, like what if she needs this, so, I mean, what's your take on, like, more of the negative reactions than, positive reactions than positive?
Clearly it's a cosmetic procedure, okay? So one of the reactions by, I think, American Academy of Ophthalmology is we don't like any procedure that's totally cosmetic.
Which I guess you can kind of understand, right?
No, okay, because right now there are probably 1 million procedures out there of Asian people who are missing a skin fold. Like I have a little bit of a crease, you see what I'm saying? But some Asians, they have no crease, and the girls don't like it because when they put on their mascara or eyeshadow, let's say, there's no defined place to put it.
Okay.
Okay? So in Asia, there are at least 1 million, probably 10 million girls who had a crease put in for cosmetic reasons. It's a cosmetic procedure. Now what are you going to tell them? Oh, I don't like the fact that you did that to your body. What about somebody gets a tattoo? What about somebody gets breast job? What about somebody gets a nose job? If the American Academy wants to say, we think it's unethical to perform any medical procedure that's purely cosmetic, they're saying that millions and millions of procedures are unethical. All you have to do is tell the person it's cosmetic, tell them the risks, and then it's not ethical. They make the informed decision. If there was any risk of blindness, I wouldn't do it. There's no risk of blindness in this procedure at all, 0. It's outside the eye. It's not an internal procedure. That thing just sits outside of the eye. If she has an infection, well, I guess we're going to have her come on camera.
Right.
But if she has an infection, it's just outside her eye. It doesn't affect her vision. If she has a problem or, let's say, needs an MRI, I could take that out in like 5 minutes. It's just make a tiny incision and I take it out, okay? So it's anybody who says it's risky, they don't know what they're talking about. I wouldn't do it if it had any risk.
Okay. Well, so I guess you're just of like the liberal mindset that people can do whatever they want with their body. I think people feel a little weirder about it because it's your eyes and it's not like all this skin you have.
I was thinking about this the other day, okay, and I was thinking about things that Americans think are normal, okay, like a girl getting a pierced ear, okay. In our culture, it's considered normal.
Yes.
But you could imagine that you're a Martian or some other culture, and you're like, why are you putting holes in your ear and defacing your totally normal ear?
Right.
And you could get it, girls have rarely gotten an infection, got a bad staph disease, and lost the entire ear. Okay, so you could say that's crazy, but it's just common and accepted, okay? Like, I'm 48 years old, okay? But when I was a little kid, if someone told me they were going to have their navel pierced, everyone would think you're the craziest person on the planet. Now it's almost normal.
So you're saying, and this is not permanent.
No, you could have, she's probably going to have it taken out. It's been done hundreds of times in Europe, totally successfully, no complications.
Right.
Again, when I was a kid 20 years ago, if some girl had 3 piercings in one ear, she's a crazy person.
Yeah.
Come on, it's just societal standards. It's ridiculous.
Definitely. Well, so on that note, why don't we bring her out and so we can talk to her about how she's feeling,
Okay,
actually. Good. So, Lucy, why don't you have a seat with us?
All right.
How you doing?
Doing good, thank you.
How are you
Thanks
doing,
for
Dr.
joining
J?
us.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's so nice to have you here. Everybody has been, contacting us about the eye jewelry thing. We just kind of wanted to get your take on how you're feeling about it, and what your reception has been, because maybe you're getting different comments than the ones we're seeing online.
I notice actually the comments what I'm getting on the street
Are different than
yeah,
online.
oh, absolutely different.
Because online is always
Absolutely,
negative.
yeah,
Because you're
online.
anonymous.
Yeah.
I mean, online is not like always negative. I do have a lot of positive comments online, which is thank you very much. But in person, I guess they know my personality. They know why I did that. I'm telling the story, not the reporter telling the story or anything. And a lot of time it's getting cut and redone, and my words.
Okay,
I guess,
so if you had to tell the story from scratch briefly,
yeah.
what would you say to the audience about why you had it done?
I mean, I don't know. I have so much words to say. You asked me to say it briefly, but it is. I'm the girl who going for something new, for going for something like extreme, but not extreme. I don't know, jump from the cliff or something extreme what I can die from or
Like
injure myself.
reasonably
Yeah,
extreme.
like I don't know, snowboarding or something. And also, I never got a tattoo. I mean, because I don't like things would stay permanently
Right.
on your body. And I know this was the perfect thing. What I got it done. A lot of people getting piercings all over their bodies, and by word all over, I really mean it. So, yeah, and I got it in my eye, and it's really cute. And
some of those people complaining about this probably have like their genitalia pierced.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
I mean,
right?
you never know. You never know. They're online, and it's it's their choice. No judges here.
Okay, so how's it been for you? You want to just walk us through very briefly the few days and now how it is now?
You mean as far as how I feel?
Or how you felt for the first couple of days, and
Yeah.
just put yourself in their shoes. They'd be like, "Oh, did it hurt?" Or,
Yeah, honestly, I didn't feel anything in the procedure. Like, I was really afraid how's it gonna go and stuff. I mean, but
We give you Valium or something?
yeah, you gave me Valium, you walked me through the whole procedure. I felt like I
Well,
was
you didn't
ready
need-
to do it myself.
You didn't
and
need the laughing gas, right?
no, I didn't.
The more nervous people, we do laughing gas.
I'm actually curious. Just thinking about this whole thing, you were saying how it was really popularized in Europe. Well, I mean, what was your motivation for bringing eye jewelry to the U.S. and being the first surgeon in U.S. history to offer it commercially to patients? I mean, like, how does it fit into the main practice?
Well, we're on the cutting edge of everything, okay? So we're doing a lot of innovative things. We're the #1 center non-cutting. We're doing the cornea tattoo. We do the eye jewelry, okay? So I'm really always pushing the envelope, but like Lucy, in a safe way, okay? So we wanted to demonstrate the safety. And there are other ancillary benefits possible, like sometimes people can't close their lid, and we actually sew a gold weight inside their eyelid, okay? But platinum is actually more inert and less allergenic than gold, and also it's heavier, okay? So I'm really thinking that if this is going well, and we do a few hundred more people, we could do some research and publication on how well it's tolerated in the body, and they could switch from gold weight to platinum weight, would probably have functional uses. A lot of times you can't even predict the functional uses of an invention. You just do the invention, and some other smart person says, hey, wait, maybe we could do it for this, okay? So the progress of science is not like a linear thing, and it's not one person saying we're going to do A, B, C. It's like a little bit like that, and you have to be creative, and I really want to support that, actually.
I mean, I understand that, and it actually makes a lot of sense, but, I mean, wouldn't you want to publicize the fact that you were willing to risk your life for strangers over your, new technology like SafeSight Jewelry, that kind of thing? I mean, I'm referring to 9/11, obviously.
Well, look, we don't choose the articles that the press goes with. You see what I'm saying? In other words, I'm known for the eye jewelry. I'm known for cornea tattoo. I'm even known a little bit for my dating life, which is really insane and irrelevant. And it was so wonderfully interesting. I wouldn't be still single. Okay. So, but I'm not known for things like I was the first doctor at 9/11. Okay. We don't choose what the press runs with, and the press unfortunately runs typically with the more sensational stories because that's what they think the audience is interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they wanted to come in and interview me, say, what does it feel like to be the first person to arrive at 9/11 on World Trade Center? I mean, that's an interesting story, and I'd be happy to do it. They haven't asked. Okay, so we're not pushing these stories out. Okay, it's not like we're saying, hey, let's put this in the media. We're just doing it, and we're doing many different things, and the media chooses what to put out there. I would wish it would be more about laser vision correction and things like that. Okay, so just to continue, in terms of like your experience in the first week, how was it both physically and, let's say, emotionally?
Yeah, I mean, the first day after procedure, I came home and I slept. I didn't feel a thing. And I woke up sometime in the middle of the night because it was, and put some drops in and, get back to sleep.
They would give her an antibiotic drop, so no infection, and a steroid drop, so no scarring.
Yeah, and the next day I just kept both of my eyes closed, and I mean, for the beginning of the day, and then at the end of the day I was able to open them. Everything was fine. I felt a little irritation, kind of like something in your eye.
When did that go away?
I believe in a day second, like at the end of the day, I really felt that, everything is normal.
Yeah, because it takes about 2 days
yeah.
for the wound to close. It's so small, it's about 3 millimeters. I don't have to put a suture in. It just heals by itself. And then, what were some of the reactions? Like, I think you didn't tell your mom till afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, because if she would be here, obviously, I would tell her right away. She's
in Russia, right?
Yeah, she is. So I didn't want her, because this procedure is so new.
You want to say hi to your mom?
Hey, mommy. Yeah, so I didn't want to tell her before I do this. It's so new. She doesn't know anything about it. And I know that it's safe. I wouldn't do that because if it wouldn't be safe. But yeah, I mean, she cannot wait to see that. That's for sure.
Hey, do you think you can come closer and maybe do a shot of her eye?
Sure, why not?
So you have to look that way, I guess, right?
All right.
And then put your chin up maybe so it gets the light.
Oh, yeah, I got it. That's a good. We just got a little bit closer. Yeah. It's a little out of focus, but you can see that.
You can pull back a little.
Yeah. Oh, that's much better. Yep. It's right there.
Yep, it is still there.
Do you have any other questions for Lucy?
Just how did you know that it was going to be so safe?
Oh, well, also, how did you find out about it? It was through a friend of yours, right?
Yeah, my friend was getting procedure here, and I was her companion. It was really unique.
Well, let's tell me about the companion thing, because that's something else unique that we do.
Right. Well, so I guess you were the companion for your friend who is going to have SafeSight. Every SafeSight patient needs to bring in their own friend or loved one, spouse, mom, dad, whatever, on their surgery day, just so they have the extra moral support while they're here, like changing their life, essentially.
You had it done too. We forgot to say that.
Yeah, I had it done. My best friend was here.
It
It was almost exactly 3 years ago.
And what's your result?
My vision now is better than I ever saw in my glasses or my contacts.
Yeah, you were like, she's 2015 or something, better than 2020.
Yeah.
And Tarek too, right?
Yes, I am. I had mine done about 1.5 years ago, and I would definitely recommend it for anyone out there who hates their glasses and contacts. Heck, if you like your glasses, you can keep them, but just don't have a prescription in them. It's like being a slave to it.
We
So
have like sunglasses for $50 and sunglasses for $300.
there's so much freedom in not having to, be blind every morning and saying, gee, what time it is? I hope I'm not late for work.
It's clearly helped Tarek out.
So, that's I think everything that I wanted to cover. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Okay, like
you did touch on your dating life a little bit. I don't know if you wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to be a millionaire matchmaker in a couple months, okay? Again, that wasn't us going out there and applying. They called us up. Same thing with Howard Stern. We didn't call up Howard. He called up us. It's hard for me to say no to these things because sometimes they tell you that you're going to be featured on the show whether you participate or not.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it's fun, right? Like, you're having fun doing it.
I had fun with Howard. He's a good guy. I didn't have fun with CNN because they did an ambush interview, and that was the first one I did. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times they tell you you're going to be on for this, and they talk about that. Like CNN, I think they kind of talked about you're going to be on for the laser, and they just kind of ambushed me a little bit about the dating and stuff like that.
Sure, but I mean, I feel like maybe you're getting used to being in the spotlight a little bit more.
We're getting used to the bait and switch on the topic. So if they say, if the reporter calls and says, we want to talk about 9/11 and your volunteer service risking your life for your fellow New Yorkers, I'll hear that as, we want to talk about your dating life.
Right. And Lucy, you're feeling okay being in the public eye, so to speak?
Yeah, why not? I mean...
You're getting pseudo-famous, right?
Yeah.
We saw articles in Russian, right?
Yeah, and in French.
And we saw them in Spanish.
So it is all over.
Yeah.
I wonder when people are starting to recognize me on the street.
So yeah, I just wanted to conclude by saying, when you see us in the media, you have to understand it's not necessarily us seeking the media, it's more them seeking us and responding. The reason we do it isn't to sensationalize, or because we're like media whores. The reason we do this is we use SafeSight Jewelry or SafeSight Tattoo as an entree or lead-in to tell the public we have the SafeSight LASEK, and that's the thing that we can help millions on. And we want to get the word out, not because we want to capture all the people in the United States coming here for LASIK. I want other people in the country knowing there are very good surgeons around the United States who do the non-cutting procedure, who can help the people who had LASIK complications and could laser the people who can't get LASIK. Okay, I'm actually going to go into semi-retirement a little bit, work part-time. I don't really need the extra income or patience, but I do want to get the word out before I fully retire that there's a newer, safer non-cutting procedure that people can take advantage of.
Great. Okay. Well, I think that covers it. Thanks again for sitting down to talk. Lucy, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
being here.
Always.
Thanks, camera guy.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, bye.